And I don't care about your past neither. A lot of times women think guys care. I don't. I was on a date once. Girl told me that before me, she used to date former New York Giants all-star wide receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. And then she was like, but I hope that doesn't change anything for you. And I was like, I'm cool. But if you used to date a professional athlete before dating me, a lot of shit is gonna change for you. Things are gonna be different now. And I think I hate when people try to put, especially older parents, they try to put pressure on you to settle down. I think they forget that dating today is way harder than it was back in the day. I mean, meeting is easier today, but back in the day, you ever stop to think when your parents were dating? You could do whatever you want. Nobody would know. There's no cell phones with HD cameras to capture everything. You could be married, have another family right across town. Nobody asks no questions. It was no proof. Even if you got caught red-handed, somebody happened to have a big-ass camera on them and they took a picture of you, you'd have 2 weeks before that picture even got developed. That's why when older men try to talk to me about dating, I get upset, because I'm like, sir, you don't gotta face the challenges that young men gotta face in modern dating. Like, you never had to video chat with your girlfriend at a funeral because she didn't believe that you were at a funeral. What type of woman doesn't believe you when you tell her that somebody died and you gotta go to their funeral? And the crazy part is you really weren't going to a funeral. So now you gotta pull up to a random funeral home on your way to the club so you could take a picture about a corpse and save your relationship. Y'all wasn't dealing with that back then. And the issue is millennials, we put a lot of pressure on the people we date. That's why nobody's settling down. We expect a lot from our partners. I read an article the other day that said that the #1 turnoff for women right now is men with bad grammar. Which goes to show you how much more sophisticated women are than men. The fact that you wouldn't sleep with a guy because he has bad grammar. That'd be like a guy not having sex with a girl because she has... I can't even think of a real reason not to sleep with somebody. Guys don't care about grammar. I asked one of my boys, I was like, yo, you care about a woman's grammar? He was like, what do you mean? Like her period? I was like, never mind. Both my parents are actually immigrants from the Dominican Republic. That's a Latin country in the Caribbean. So technically, I'm Hispanic, but nobody ever believes me. Especially white people. When I tell them I'm Hispanic, they're like, Ian, but you don't look Hispanic. Like, are you sure you're not a little bit African American? And I hate that question. Am I sure? First of all, I think that's offensive. And second of all, of course I'm not sure. I know what I look like. I'm just as confused as you are. If you're looking for it, though, the politically correct term for me right now is actually African Latino. And if you've never heard of that, basically, we're like the next big thing. Yes, they compare us to Bitcoin in 2011. It's like, invest now, because the stock is going up, you know? People didn't even know we were real. We just came out of nowhere. We're like unicorns. We just popped up one day, out of nowhere, you know? Talented, triple threat. We could do it all. Dance salsa, speak Spanish, and say the N-word. So the opportunities are endless. I'm a proud Hispanic man, though. A lot of negative stereotypes about Hispanic men right now. I had a girl tell me she don't date Hispanic men because they cheat and they can't commit to a relationship. But that's a stereotype. You can't always listen to what other people say. Like my grandparents, they just celebrated 59 years of being together. Yeah. And things are going great. So they're thinking about getting married. My grandmother might be the one. Some people try to pretend like last year didn't even exist. They try to just erase it from their memory. I don't like people like that. You gotta hold on to your accomplishments. Whatever you was able to accomplish last year, hold on to it. It matters, you know? Like I found out about wine during the pandemic. Yeah, I didn't know about wine. They don't tell black men about wine. No one tells us. White women, you know about wine. Yeah, they know. I found out from my doctor. Like, did you guys know this? Did you guys know that drinking 1 glass of wine with dinner every night could actually help you feel like you're better than everybody else? I was like, why isn't Fauci talking about this? America needs to know red wine. It pairs beautifully with a pandemic. I turned 30 during the whole thing. I don't know if it was turning 30 or if it was the pandemic, but I turned into a middle-aged white woman during the lockdown. Straight up. My boys called me during the lockdown, like, yo, you watching the game tonight? I'm like, the game? Nigga, Meghan Markle is on Oprah. Snitching on the whole family. You still worried about LeBron? Nigga, you need to grow up. It's a game. That's what I do now. I drink red wine and mind other people's business in private, like an adult. That's my favorite drink, red wine. I love red wine. Because you only need 1 glass to get to where you need to be. I see people out partying, taking shots. I'm like, just order a glass of wine. I don't know how rappers aren't rapping about red wine. I don't, because rappers, they sell alcohol, but it's always the hard stuff. It's always like vodka or tequila. But if you listen to their lyrics, rappers get very emotional. I'm like, this don't sound like tequila. Every rap song is always the same thing. It's always, I'm better than you, I'm tougher than you, I got more money than you. I'm like, nigga, you been drinking Malbec. Because that is exactly how I feel when I'm scrolling through Instagram in my boxers on a Friday night. So, I know what you mean, Gucci man, I get it. I was raised too old-fashioned, that's my problem. Like, my parents been together a long time, my grandparents together a long time, so I think I'm too much of a gentleman. Like, I don't apply to modern dating, because I'm too nice. You can't be too nice in modern dating. Like, I was on a date recently, I took this girl out. First date, I took her out, and the bill came, and the bill was $265. And I paid it. I paid it because I'm a gentleman. And I'm not the kind of guy that thinks if I take you out and spend $265 on you, then you owe me sex. But mainly that's because I don't think sex is worth $265. I'm the kind of guy, if I take you out and spend $265 on you, now I think you owe me money. Like, even if she wanted to, I wouldn't have sex with her that night, because I don't want her to confuse that for payment. I don't want her walking around thinking we're even. It's like, miss, you owe me $145. Do you have Venmo, or who do you bank with? I got involved in the stock market last year. That was a big deal for me. I'm a stockholder. Thank you. I don't know if you guys are doing as well as I'm doing, but if you save up like $37, you could buy stock in a company. I bought 3 because I had a really good fourth quarter last year. But you don't got to start at the top. You could just work your way up to where I'm at. And I see some young people in here. I don't know how much y'all know about finance, but I'll teach you guys this. When you buy stock in a company, you actually become part owner of that company. So I'm not trying to sound like I'm better than anybody else here, but I'm not just a comedian. I'm also part owner of Delta Airlines. Oh, thank you. Look, that's fine. I appreciate it. Listen, y'all don't gotta clap. It's cool. I'm not one of those arrogant CEOs. I don't need that type of acknowledgement from anybody. To be honest, I don't even like to talk about it. I swear to God, you wouldn't even know unless you check my resume, LinkedIn, or Tinder. That's the only place I talk about it. I tell you guys the truth, I don't even think Delta told the employees yet. I don't think the employees know who I am. I'm serious, I was flying back home from Chicago, and I got my boarding pass, and I was sitting in zone 3, and I was like, zone 3? This is weird. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna make a big deal about it. I guess it's just gonna be like an undercover boss type of situation. I'm gonna get to see how my employees work, you know? I didn't make a big deal. I didn't try to fire anyone or anything like that. But I did try to board the flight early. When I got to the gate agent stopped me. Could you believe she stopped me? She didn't know. She didn't know who I was. She was like, sir, we did not call your zone yet. And I was like, miss, you must not read your emails, but I own $111 worth of this company, so I'll get on whenever the hell I want, Bridget. I'm always in a good mood. That's kind of my thing. Like, I'm always happy. I'm always very positive. People think it's weird. A lot of people ask me, like, yeah, you're never angry. Are you in therapy? Like, how come you're never angry? I don't do therapy. This is how I deal with my aggression. You guys can try it if you like. Before I leave my house, I like to listen to at least 45 minutes of gangster rap music. That's black people therapy. That's how we work on our issues. Something about gunshots and police sirens. It's like a white noise machine for us. Makes us feel centered, you know? And I like old school rap. That's my favorite. I like old school. Like, Tupac is my favorite rapper. I love Tupac. He's been dead over 20 years, but his music still makes you relate to things you never been through. Stuff you never experienced, you hear Tupac talk about it, you're like, yeah. I know what you mean, Tupac. I get it. My favorite Tupac song is Dear Mama. Dear Mama, that's the song he writes to his mom. In it, he got a line where he says to his mom, he says, even as a crack fiend, mama, you always were a black queen, mama. And I don't think my mom's ever tried crack. But that did not stop me from writing those lyrics on her Mother's Day card. Tupac had me inspired. I was like, wait till you read this, ma. This is from the heart. I mean this. And I don't think I'll ever understand what it is that woman. I used to think I was a good catch. I used to walk around thinking like, all right, who wouldn't want to date me, you know? But I was on a date once, girl asked me to tell her a little bit about myself. And I had some accomplishments, so I got a little arrogant when I was telling her. I was like, yeah, I went to college. I got my degree in economics. After college, I had a nice paying day job. And at nighttime, I was running around doing comedy, following my dreams. I used to think that was the kind of things that women were into. But after I finished telling her that, her reply to me was, she was like, you know what, Ian? If you were over 6 feet, I would definitely hook up with you. Don't feel bad. I don't care about what she said. It's just the way she said it. Like, she was acting like I wasn't being ambitious enough. Like, if I work hard, one day I could be over 6 feet. But I'm just not applying myself. I got upset. I was like, what are you, scouting power forwards? Why you need to date these giant men? That's what she said. She was like, Ian, listen, women, we like to date tall men because when we're with them, they make us feel more safe and protected. And I was like, all right, I guess I kind of understand that. But then I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. How much shit are you getting into that you need to walk around with this extra security all the damn time? And like, I'm not a tall dude, but I'll still protect you. What do women think? I'll protect you. Like, we're gonna be out on a date, having a good time. Some dude's gonna run up to you and grab your ass. You're gonna turn to me, and I'm gonna be like, bitch, I'm only 5'7". You knew what you signed up for. Protect yourself.